In this next video, in my series on indices laws, we're going to be looking at negative indices. This, for example, is when you have 10 to the minus 2 or 3 to the minus 5. Now let's start with just power negative 1. Let's take 3 to the minus 1. What that is it is 1 over 3. It is the reciprocal. The reciprocal just means flipping the fraction over. So for example, if I had 7 over 4 to the power minus 1, I will flip the fraction over and it will become 4 over 7. To understand why this is the case, let's take a basic example of 3 to the power of 4 divided by 3 to the power 5. Now, if you use your indices laws and you subtract the powers because we're dividing, that will give 3 to the minus 1. And if we actually write out what we have 3 4 times on the numerator and 5 times on the denominator. We can cancel out 4 of them because they're on the top and the bottom, and that just leaves 1 over 3. And so there is your proof that 3 to the minus 1 is 1 over 3. Now let's have a few more examples, but this time when we're raising to a power minus 2, minus 3, or minus 4. Let's start with 10 to the minus 2. Now this, anytime you have a negative power, all you do is you take the reciprocal and you forget about the minus. The reciprocal just means flipping the fraction over. Obviously, if it's just a number, it becomes 1 over said number. So this becomes 1 over 10 squared. 10 squared is 100, so therefore I get 1 over 100. If we had 4 to the minus 3, we'll flip the fraction over. That's 1 over 4, and we'll cube it. So I get 1 over 64. Now, if you're dealing with a fraction as the base, let's say we had 3 over 2 all to the power minus 3, the negative takes the reciprocal. It means flips the fraction over. So I get 2 over 3, and I'm then going to raise that to the power 3. If I raise that to the power 3, that gives me 2 cubed on the top and 3 cubed on the bottom, which would just be 8 over 27. Let's have one more example. 12 to the minus 2 would be 1 over 12, all squared, which is therefore 1 over 144. So whenever you're dealing with a negative power, you take the reciprocal, that means flip the fraction over, the base stays the same other than that, and the power becomes positive. You then just work out what the power is going to be, either in your head or using a calculator, and that will be your final answer.